Live, everybody! Welcome to our Big Brother 16 post-season interviews with our favorite and who we called as winner day one. Your winner, I'm stealing this one from you, John, Derrick. But first, you guys know the deal. You can follow me over on Twitter. I'm at Reality Recaps. Who's here with me? John.
Hey guys, John Richardson here. So excited to not only talk to Derrick, but Eric and I were actually going to put him on the block since he doesn't know what that's like. You can follow me at Comedy Jonah.
Good, Derrick.
Mine's simple. At Derrick_L13 for Twitter and Derrick_Levasseur BB16 on Instagram. That's it. I hope you guys follow me.
Oh, they're going to follow you, Derrick, because I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, not on the block, but on the spot right now, because I want to let everybody know, like you guys all know, thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It really helps support our shows. Now, those of you that do, you know we were talking about Derrick shirts all season. I've been waiting till Derrick was on to say, whoever is subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're sending you one of our Derrick shirts, number one.
Wow.
We are also giving away autographs from the Big Brother premiere party, okay, in the chat today. And then anybody who should also know our shows are available on iTunes in audio and video form. We're going to be giving away our signed, and we hope to see you there next year, Derrick, Reality Rally shirt from this year's Reality Rally with all the people who signed it. So follow us on YouTube, iTunes, give us a nice review, subscribe, and you guys can win that stuff from this show. Now, Derrick, right off the bat, we need to talk about something, and then I'll care what everybody else wants to know about. So, Derrick, I would like you to explain this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's for I'm not even kidding with you. We definitely have to think about it because you can't do it by yourself.
No way.
It's too much. It's too much to follow. I mean, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No, yeah, you'd have to have people on different shifts.
Yeah. But
that would be so fun.
But I mean, we definitely could communicate and then do different. What we could do. Don't steal this. What we could do is do live chats to kind of a mix, like a hybrid between reality recaps, we've been on the show.
Oh, but you've been on the show, Derrick.
A phenomenal idea.
Derrick, you seem to be on our show right now, Derrick. I don't know if you heard Mr. Don't Steal This. We were updating 24 hours a day.
You guys are beasts. You guys are beasts.
On shifts as well. Maybe we can help you set it up, is what I'm saying.
I don't know how you guys do it. You look so great on camera right now, and you get your sleep. It's amazing. I don't know how you do it.
The sleep is how we don't do the sleep. That's what you need to do. Derrick, first of all now, in all sincerity, my slow clap to you. Best, I don't care, I'll say it, Big Brother player of all time.
Thank you.
Perfect game, blown away just blown away watching you play all season. Brilliant, amazing. How Big Brother should be played.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Then on behalf of the fans, they hate you for killing all the drama in your massively brilliant game. But that's how you have to do it. That's why you played it brilliantly.
Good.
You killed all the drama to make sure you were going to win, and that's how I would have played it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. As a fan of the show, I definitely saw, I'm sure you guys saw in the feeds, I would say all the time, they hate us. We're boring. The unanimous votes and all that good stuff. As a fan, I know that's not what you guys want to see, but when you're in the house, that's all I want to see. And, when I was in the house competing for the money, that's all I cared about.
Yeah, well, you were so calculating, and you were like Dexter, but without the murder. It was really, really good.
Thank you. BB17. There'll be drama in BB17. I'll let Robin know.
Okay.
Oh, you mean BB17 fans versus favorites?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Sure, Derrick. I want an all-winner season. I want to see all of the winners. I want to see all the winners competing, maybe with first out. But speaking of winners, now we all know that I think you played a much better game than all the other winners. I know that you're compared a lot to Dan. We think better than Dan. Would you say that Dan is who you modeled your game after?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely took a little bit from him. I took a little bit from Frank Udy, but I mean, Dan was definitely somebody who I think, played an amazing game in season 10. And I tried to emulate some of the things that he had done that year as far as being passive aggressive, take the high road on most things, always kind of diffuse any blame that could come towards him. And then I tried to put my own spin on it by using the things that I've done in my life and the way I interact with people to make the strategy that I implemented Derrick's game, you know?
Right. Now, one of my questions, and I think I kind of heard that you answered it already, but I haven't heard your answer, so I'm going to ask you here.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know there was like a ton of drama over this picture that you got in your basket, and then you were like trying to hide it, and we were like, oh, he was in his uniform, he was this, he was that. What was up with this picture?
Well, let's go. Let's start from the get-go. It was not a picture of me in uniform. I don't think CBS would do that to me. And as you guys saw, Cody saw the picture. Right. He saw it right there. So he's not my friend outside the house. He was competing against me, so he wouldn't have lied for me. It was a picture of my father, his wife, and Tenley. Wasn't the best picture because, as you guys know, I don't know if it shows how close it shows, the pictures are printed off a printer. They're very grainy, they're pixelated, and sometimes with printers, when they run out, they get like the droplets. So all I did was say, hey, can I have another picture either of just my wife, if you can't redo this one, or just this picture of better condition? And I got the, we'll put in the request, which means you're not getting another one. It didn't help that I was on the double eviction,
right?
Because I wasn't essentially entitled to the pictures anyway. So they did give me a construction paper, which you guys probably saw me kiss a lot every night. It was a second construction paper, and it was from my wife, and it had 5 things that she loved about me. So that was kind of like the trade-off, so to speak. And to be honest, I'd rather have that because I had it the whole season. So I was okay with it. But no conspiracy, no cop photo. It wasn't my daughter with a hat on or a police hat. They wouldn't do that to me. The only real drama that I had with pictures that I didn't hear anything about was the last time I won HOH, they actually gave me a picture with a beard. And Victoria pointed it out. And I had been playing the whole season and I never had a beard in my life. So that's something that didn't get a lot of play, but it happened, and I had to kind of circumvent that one and say, oh, no, that was just a little scruff I had because I had told them that beard that they had seen was the first time I ever had it, when in all actuality it wasn't.
And that was the end. That was like the last. That's when you were down to Final 4, right?
Right. It was a picture with my mother, my dad, and Jana, and I had a beard in it, just like I have in the show. And I had said I don't want any pictures with me with beards. They must have just slipped up on that one.
Well, even if you got like the picture, like maybe with a badge or something, you'd be like, "Oh, I remember that Halloween of 2011."
I would have came out of it. You guys knew I would have came up with something. Yeah. But it really wasn't, and that's why Cody was like, "Who is that? Is that your brother?" Because my dad, my real father, actually looks like me. So he was like, "Oh, is that your brother?" And that's when I guess the feeds cut out. Obviously, I don't know. I was in the house. Yeah. But that's why he said, "Is that your brother?" Because my dad, God rest his soul, looked extremely young. So he's doing good, and we were good to go.
Yeah, I think we never saw anything. There was no close-up of what the picture actually was. So then
I think I might have it. I wish I had the picture. I wish I could show it so you guys could see. I'll get it. I'll post it.
Find the picture, sign it, and then we can give it to fans.
Yeah, there we go. It's literally, like I said, it's a common picture, probably on one of my social media things already. There was no conspiracy theory, so I'm hoping we can put that one to rest.
Good. Let's put it to rest, and we'll stick the picture if Derrick finds it or we find it on social media below. Yeah. Now, I will say this, Derrick. I kind of think none of them were going to call you out on it because I think by Final 4 it was clicking for them, or at least Victoria. Now, I told Victoria yesterday I loved the Victoria the last week. I know that you hated the Victoria of the last week giving you shit, but I loved that Victoria. I was like, where was her? Derrick you needed to bring that more out of her when she was, your right hand this season. Right. I wanted that Victoria more. But
she gave it to me. She gave me a tough one. She gave me a run for my money that week. It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun. It was brilliant. Now, let's talk about Victoria for a second, because, we get tons of questions about people talking about your relationship as a cast member to Victoria in the show. What are your thoughts on what people are saying? I know that you're watching social media. I know that you know these things. We let Victoria talk about it yesterday, so I want to give you the floor to say what you want to say about it today.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. There's a genuine connection between me and Victoria as friends. You know, she had a tough week in the house the first week because she's Jewish, and we were doing some praying. As most of you already know, my wife is Jewish. So I took that very personal, and I felt a connection to her immediately. And I genuinely, considering that I was always trying to play the game, I could tell she was an extremely good person, and you know, that maybe she was a little over her head as far as what to expect coming into the house. And I felt obligated to be by her side, and that built into a relationship that, you know, wasn't so much game purposes, but was more of a real, genuine friendship. And as far as anything else that's being said, you know, as you guys know, I'm married. I got a wife. I love them very much. They were very supportive. I think Victoria's an amazing person. She's going to go on to do great things, and she's going to get married and have tons of babies. And I'm hoping that I'm invited to the wedding. That's all I'm saying.
I think you are. After yesterday, you are invited to the wedding.
This is awkward. She said she hates you yesterday, so let's edit. No, I'm totally kidding. She loves you. Now, I also just remembered, which was my favorite part of all season, Derek, and I'm sorry, I'm going to take credit for it whether it's true or not. You're the only other person that talks with your hands like me, which everybody seems to hate.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an East
I'm bad. I'm bad.
It's an East Coast thing.
I'm really
Is that
bad.
what it is? Because I'm on the West Coast, and we use our mouths. So, sorry.
Well, you know what people need to use as well? Their fingers, because if you guys want to... don't hit it in the gutter.
How you doing? How you doing?
Your fingers to tweet us your questions right now for Derek, hashtag IRR Live with your questions on Twitter. John is also manning the chat room as well. Of course, we have a ton for you, Derek.
I've got questions already in the chat room. It's
flooding. Go ahead.
It's flooding.
Go, John. Shoot one.
I have John Schiffer on Facebook in our chat room says, "Are you going back to undercover work, or has Big Brother blown your cover?"
That's an easy one. I actually haven't been undercover in 3 years. I'm a police sergeant. They did say I was a police sergeant on the show, but I have not done undercover in 3 years since my right before my baby was. We found out that my wife was pregnant. Not the life you want to be in if you have a child. And although I did it for a long time, my part of that was done. You can only do so much because once you've been undercover in so many places, you start to be exposed. So I haven't done that in a very long time. It was great for TV, but I've been a police sergeant on the road for 3 years.
Now, was it like 21 Jump Street? Like, were you like, yeah, there's a group of us and we all are adults but look really young? Ooh, you selling meth? Oh, okay.
The only thing I really used as far as the detective side of it was my appearance. You guys saw me change my appearance right at the beginning of the season, and that was definitely by design. You know, I realized how young the cast was and said, hey, I don't know if it's going to help, but I'm going to try to make myself more approachable. I'm going to be this hipster dad to try to be more approachable by the younger people in the house, and I do think it works. I think it helped them open up to me.
It did. It was like magic. It was like. It happened before my eyes. I didn't realize it was happening until Cody was staring at your picture. He's like, but we don't even know that guy anymore. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, he has pulled the wool over our eyes.
Yep. Good, I popped the sunglasses. I popped the shades out of those sunglasses from the first competition. I stole Hayden's beanie, grew out the beard, and I went with it. I rolled with it the whole season.
Yeah, you definitely... I think that being an undercover cop definitely prepared you in a way for this game that definitely gave you tools that other people don't have. And it's why I said day one, solely on that fact. I didn't even watch your preseason interview. The second I saw that, I was like, Derek wins the game. Because you will know how to adapt to anything that's thrown at you and remain completely neutral in situations not make people feel threatened, which we watched you do time and time again. That was so brilliant as far as your gameplay goes.
Thank you. And and undercover, I got to be honest with you, as long as the preconceived notions out there, there's not a lot of training that goes into being an undercover cop. When I became an undercover cop, it was a lot based on where I grew up and how I communicate with people and how I'm able to get in and out of situations, because you're a patrolman first. Mm-hmm. And they just said, hey, you have what it takes to be a detective, to be an undercover detective. And then I went in that role and did pretty well. And I just used who I am as a person in addition to the experiences I've been through to help me get further in the game.
You need to move over to New York. I'm married to NYPD, and they'll train you here, Derek. They'll train you. They'll train you in some stuff over here in New York.
I'm sure they will.
I'm probably being lied to. There probably is no training. He's like, yes, there's training.
There's definitely some stuff. There's definitely little things, as far as like, if you're in a tough situation, a violent situation, things of getting yourself out of it. But as far as like being able to read people, you either have that or you don't. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's very true. It is all being able to read people. Now, speaking of cops on reality TV shows, we know from watching the feeds that you watch Survivor. So did what you saw Tony do at all in his game kind of influence you or guide you to anything that you were like, ooh, I better avoid this, I better not do this?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Tony was an amazing player. As you guys saw, he was a beast the entire game, and he was just a straight hustler. And I loved it about him because he had more heart than anybody that was on that island, and he showed it by getting the immunity idols. The only thing that I made a promise to my wife that I wouldn't do going on the show was swear on her or my kid, regardless of whether I was telling the truth or not. And I definitely walked a tightrope on that line sometimes in the games, but I never blatantly said it. And that was the only thing she really didn't want me to do. She said, hey, that money's not worth that. I don't want you to do that. And then the other thing was he actually came out to try to build trust by telling them that he was a cop. And I don't really think that works. I think when you say somebody, hey, this is who I told you I was the entire game, but I'm telling you now who I really am, it causes a sense of paranoia, and I didn't want to do that, and under no circumstances was I going to tell anybody.
Well, I think when he did that, and then all of a sudden he's like, I swear on the shield, I swear on the shield, you're my lines, I swear on the shield, and now you're just in a muddy mess.
I agree. But hey, you know what? He pulled it off.
He did.
He pulled it off.
And I love him. And I love him.
Tony, reach out to me, buddy. He actually did hit me up on Twitter. But Tony, reach out to me, man. I'm a huge fan of you.
Yeah, definitely love us some Tony.
He's a beast.
Here is a question from Renell C, who says, Derrick, how did you decide to evict Hayden over Nicole during the double eviction? It looked like you asked Christine who to vote for.
Yeah, when I asked Christine, it was more just trying to get where her head was at because I wanted to vote Hayden. The real reason was, if you guys noticed in week 3, I had made a somewhat hinky alliance with her, and she had talked more game with me up to that point, and I felt that if she was left in the house by herself, she's somebody that I may be able to work with, where Hayden was definitely Team Donnie and was always trying to mediate between me and Donnie and fix that situation. So, and not only that, he's a great competitor. He's extremely intelligent, so I figured, hey, if I have to try to get somebody out at this point, he may be tougher to get out later in the game, so let's roll with that. And I knew that was the general consensus of the house, and I kind of confirmed that with Christine when she came out of the DR.
I definitely want to ask you something about Christine, but first, before we get too far away from it, look, everybody watching right now, you're all Derrick fans. So Derrick, you're not allowed to repeat that whole thing about not swearing. Because look, Big Brother people don't watch these shows unless they're on them. They're going to know that's your weakness. If you go back for All-Stars, they're going to be like, swear on your family. Swear on your family.
And I'll tell them right out. Don't even ask before. If you want to evict me, go ahead and evict me. That's cool. But I actually told the house guests this season that my wife told me I could not swear on my kid or on her, so don't ask me because it's not happening.
I should have known. All right, now, let's talk about Christine for a second, because we all saw, I told Christine she should have never have left you alone in that room to talk to people. I was like, I would have stood right next to Derrick and been like, go ahead, Derrick, are you calling in next? You're not going to get to be able to anything. But I get why you evicted her. You thought she was coming after you.
Not only that, she was getting close with Cody.
She was getting close. Yeah, she was getting close with Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Now
She's playing a similar game to me. She was coming off as the hated player, the weak player, and I didn't want Cody to have any enticing options near the end to take somebody over me.
Totally. Did you hear, though, how right after, in her, Jeff exit interview, she was never going for you? And we asked her, and she said that was sincere. She was blown away to find out that that's the reason, that you really believe that in that point in the game that she was coming after you. She really wanted to go to the end with you, or towards the end with you, and keep working with you.
Right, and it's definitely possible. We had heard as far as she had suggested that Cody and I go on the block at one point early in the game, and you just hit it on the head. She would go near the end with me. not to the end. And I think she would have absolutely taken Cody over me without a doubt. She was loyal to him. She had made a final 2 with him. So I knew that ultimately her allegiances were with him. And she was a good competitor. She had the ability to win comps and send people home. So when I had an opportunity to get her out, and me and Cody went back and forth on this, if I had the opportunity to get her out, I was going to take advantage of it because I knew we couldn't all get to the end. And I needed to start getting some good players out. And she, in my eyes, is a great player.
Well, this is a great segue to a question we're getting in the chat room from Colleen. Says, if Victoria was not willing to strike up a Final 2 deal with you, which female in the house would you have tried to bring with you to Final 3?
It's a great question.
Good job, Colleen. It's our very own Colleen.
You know, it would be close, but I think I'd have to go with Nicole. Nicole. I think Nicole could have beaten me in the end. Honestly, she's a great speaker. And stuff like that. But if I had to say so, she was so genuine to me in the house. She opened up to me before I sent her home as far as the Dan thing. And I've actually, I know this shouldn't really count, but I've hung out with her since I left the house. And wow, she is an amazing person. An amazing person. So, yeah, I mean, if I really didn't have Victoria, if I want to be honest with you, I would have taken Caleb over any of the girls because I felt like Caleb was more loyal to me. But I would have taken Caleb and Cody. But if I had to pick another girl, toss up between Christine and Nicole, with the tiebreaker probably going to Nicole.
What's sad is that I almost just said Dan to you. I almost just called you Dan, number one. I still have that memory.
I'll take it.
Derek's obsessed with Dan.
Right, clearly I'm obsessed now. What I was going to say was, Derrick, the game's over. Nicole wasn't beating you. Nobody was beating you in that Final 2. You know that you had a story for every person in that house. You could have blown them all out of the water, rightfully so.
Well, I appreciate that.
That being said, was there any backlash since the show of people feeling like, wow, Derrick, you really played us? Because we know there were a lot of fans in there that get it, but there were also recruits in there who might have taken it more personally.
I got to be honest with you. Anyone I've speaking with, not one single person. If anything, like I said, I was out with Nicole the other day at the Patriots game with Hayden, had nothing but compliments for me and was glad to be in the house with somebody like me because she's like, hey, if I'm going to lose, I wanted to lose to somebody like you. Same thing with Christine, same thing with Cody. Caleb was a little hurt that we kind of got him to the end and did that, but he understands it. I'm hanging out with him the 23rd. They've all been great. Anyone I've actually spoken with has been nothing but understanding, and I'm glad to see that because I really hope to have relationships with them in the long term.
Well, I think, too, once you get out of the house, and I think most everyone, I like to say most everyone, probably not true, but once you kind of decompress and it's just like, it's a game, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I would have been bitter, too, but once you get out and actually get to watch and stuff, I think they appreciate what I did, you know, and I appreciate what they did because they were hustling in there, too. They were playing, you know. It was a chess match, and I was glad to be in the house with those people.
It was. And I hate the people that are like, Derrick wouldn't have been able to do this if he was in another season. Well, Derrick isn't in another season. He's in this season. And if he was in another season, then that season would have been different and that person wouldn't have won. So I don't like the people that always like to throw that stuff out.
Yeah, there were some players in there. Donnie, Christine, Nicole. They were players, man. I'm telling you, they knew their shit when it came to, excuse my language, they knew their stuff when it came to Big Brother. They really did. They knew it more than me. They were reciting previous seasons, and Donnie didn't talk about the game much, but he's an extremely intelligent guy. Cody, social skills above everybody. He's amazing. I mean, there were some players there. Zach, although he was a bomb, he knew what he was doing too. He had his character figured out. Frankie, do I have to say anything else as far as competitions? Kid was a beast as far as comp. So there were some players in there.
Yeah.
There was definitely players in there. It was definitely a good season for competitions and for players, 100%. Now, speaking of not really a competition, but we have a question from our website from Kelly who says, Derrick, you loved playing with the little fishing rod while in the house. Were you able to keep it, and are you still using it?
I gotta tell you, they don't let you keep. I tried to sneak it in my bag, and maybe it'll come in my care package. But I can tell you, future house guest, you can't hide it from Big Brother. They take everything. My suitcase was rummaged through. and everything was gone by the time I got home, and I was like, you bastards, you took everything. But I'm hoping that it's in my my care package when it comes in, because I did a lot of thinking with that fishing pole, which you guys saw, and I'd like to have it as a memory, a memento.
Yeah, I'm sure you will get it. From what I hear, you're going to get it.
I hope
you
so.
won. You're going to get it. You're going to get the whole season on DVD. They really
Oh gosh,
really hook up the winners.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, it'll be good. So here's another question from let's go with T from our website, who says, what was it like hanging out with Hayden and Nicole at the Pats game? And I believe you guys also did like a fan thing together too, didn't you? I saw something on Twitter that you guys were meeting fans too. So what was that like?
The first thing was for Hayden's dad had put on a thing for breast cancer awareness to raise money, and Hayden had asked me to come up because there were some people that wanted to meet me, and he's only about 45 minutes away, and for a cause like that, if I'm free, I'm doing it, and that's what that was for. We did the fan thing, and then Hayden's dad was able to get some tickets for the Patriots game. My wife was able to come, and it was unbelievable because we didn't talk any game, but we did get to meet some fans, and we had to go on the field, and it was an unbelievable experience because I've never been able to do anything like that, nor would I have been able to afford something like that. So to hang out with those guys and my wife and experiencing that, can't put it into words. It was unbelievable. And you don't get better people than those two. They're such good people, and hopefully they stick together. They're a great couple.
I know, Derek, I gave you jobs. Your jobs are Nicole and Caleb. That's who everyone is asking for. Now, I got that you said field, so I'm ruling out basketball. This is my sports now. I'm going to go with football.
Yeah, Patriots. Yeah, football. Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think of the shape of the ball. Like, what shape is it?
Yeah, football. You could see I had pictures of Tom Brady on there and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, Tom Brady. Everyone knows Tom Brady.
Doesn't he host the new Let's Make a Deal? That's
Do you know that Teresa Giudice is going to jail for 15 months, Derek? Where's Jana? Hello.
Jana, no, she was filling me in on a lot of stuff, and it's like you're on an island. I feel like the Tom Hanks from Castaway. You really just forget everything. You don't know anything. So it's fun though. It's fun to hear about all these different things that I missed out on.
You know what else was fun, Derek? You being in Team America.
That was a good time.
How were you at all nervous? Because we know that you're a student of the game, so obviously you know kind of what happened to Eric Stein. In the beginning, were you a little bit nervous, like, oh, this might kill my game a little bit, or no?
Well, yeah, I mean, I obviously wanted to be America's player, Team America, so to have that as a fan, I was like, this is unreal. When I found out there was 3 of us, especially Donnie and Frankie, who I hadn't been that close with up till that point, it was a little concerning because we had to develop missions as a team, and that was going to let them into my brain and kind of figure out my methodology behind how I design things. And I didn't want anybody to know that. So it did expose myself a little bit to how I think and how I work. But at the other side of the token, it exposed me to them as well. So it kind of evened itself out. And the fact that I wasn't aware I was going to be able to win the show, I just played week to week and knew that this was a guaranteed $5,000 each week, and I was doing it for America. I was all about it. I'll take the risks over the rewards that were associated with it.
So I'm thinking if this is okay for me to ask you. You don't answer it if you don't think it's okay.
Okay.
So you didn't know that you had, you thought that in being in Team America there was a chance you wouldn't be allowed to play for Final 2 and win the game?
Oh, no. We knew that we were being allowed to play till the end. And,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
This was a side pot, and that was explained to us off camera. This was a side pot that we had the option of competing in each week. We didn't have to. It was a blessing. It was all around, no negative side to it other than the fact that I had to work out with other people.
I would have loved to see you all refusing. Be like, nope, not this week. Well,
yeah, and that did happen a couple times.
Yeah.
It did happen a couple times, and he got a lot of backlash for that. It made it look like I was putting him under the bus. If you guys saw the feeds, you saw the conversation. It wasn't the best mission, but I got to respect Donnie. He did what he thought was good for his game, and so be it. We didn't win that week, and I understood, and I definitely caught some heat for that as far as lying in the diary room, but that's the game. And if that's my biggest issue, I'm doing okay.
You know what I say all the time, Derek. To win Big Brother, you have to play the house, play production, and
Yeah.
play America. You don't need to admit to either of those second two, though.
Right,
Anyway,
and speaking of playing, we have Erwin in our chat room. Lots of final two scenarios. He
Yeah.
asks, Derek, were you at all concerned that Cody might take Victoria to the final two?
Man, I get this question every time.
Do you?
Not at all. The feedsters out there know. I literally have been talking about with this kid all season. And could he have done it? Of course. I'm not in his brain, but if he would have fooled me, it would have been the best move of the year because I thought I had everyone pretty much figured out, and I knew who Cody Calafieri was. We helped each other get to the end, and that kid was as loyal as they come, and I didn't question him for a second, not even a second. And that's the truth. I wish I could tell you more, but I really didn't. When he won, we didn't care who won that final HOH because we knew we were going to stay loyal to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you honestly, genuinely tried then to win it, or was
yeah.
there any thought in your brain that was like, if I lose it, then I don't have to be the one to send Victoria out?
No, I wish I could say that, but no, I tried to beat him because I wasn't going to leave anything up to chance. I tried to beat the kid, and he beat me fair and square, bar none.
Yeah, I didn't think there would be any way that you would give up the final HOH, especially since by that time it seemed like you had Victoria kind of, she got the whole picture.
And you guys know, I told her the night before, that didn't get any airtime, but I told her emphatically, I am not taking you to the final two. Simple as that, I'm not taking you. So everyone was like, come on, you would have taken Victoria. Victoria was cool with it. She understood. I told her my reasonings behind not taking her, and she was fully aware of it.
Yeah. One of the best moments of the season, or one of my favorite moments of the season, that you got credit for, I don't know if you know or not, instead of Victoria, was the whole lie to keep her in, to keep her in the game. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I was annoyed that we didn't get to see any of the cast reacting to finding out that that was all a lie. I am a Frankie fan. Sorry, everybody. But I did want to see his reaction to, wow, I bought what she was selling, because he bought it.
He did. She did a great job, and I hate to let you down, but it was my idea. And if you go back and look at the tape, you'll see that I'm laying in bed. I even remember the bed I was in. I'm sitting there going, man, I'm never going to make – now at this point I thought she was leaving, and I'm saying, man, I just don't think anybody's going to take me to the final two, especially Frankie. I wish there was something we could do. And then she gave the idea, like, maybe I can help you out somehow. And I'm like, what are you thinking? The thing they didn't play is I was actually in the DR a half hour before that, letting them know that I was going to go into the fire room and do that.
Oh, well, there you go. Then you heard it here first.
I know.
Yeah. If you go back, if you have a flashback of it, I don't know if they do, you'll see now that I've said it, how I did it. Literally, I laid in the bed.
I don't think it was a flashback.
Yeah, you'll leave, and I'm going to be by myself, and I'm never going to make it. And she's like, you have to make it, you have to. But there was another side to it. It did help her out a little bit because I thought they would never put us up together if she did stay.
Right. Well, you all can see it at yourrealityrecaps.com/flashbacks, where we have all of the flashback times.
Sorry, I love you, Victoria. I love you so much. I'm sorry.
Well, I think too another thing that was really funny to see, like with the season 2, and everyone in the chat room, I want to know what you think as well. We found out that Frankie's sister was Ariana Grande, but then finding out, having the house guests find out that you were an undercover, I think the shock value was the same. Maybe yours was even a little higher.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely I saw the reactions and I loved it. There were points where I thought that I was going to say it in my final two, but the game I played, I didn't want anything to offset the voting the way I thought it was going to go. And I was happy they gave me an opportunity to do it because I did want to tell them. I hated lying to them, and I loved their reactions. Cody's was the best. He was sitting right next to me, and Victoria's was pretty good too.
Well, I mean, they're saying, I knew it, and I'm thinking, when was the last time I accused someone I hardly knew? I think you're an undercover cop. I knew it.
Frankie did say at one point, are you a cop? Because I was the cop. He did say it, but I think I was able to kind of squall that pretty good, and I don't know if he really knew, but when I said it, obviously he was like, I knew it all along. I should have stuck with my gut.
Yeah, that is how that is why you are so good at this game, is that I think you know to read people and you know to follow your gut. I really think that is the one piece of advice we get from all the people that come on the show. Usually what they're feeling is always the right thing and they wish they would have kind of went more along with their feelings.
Yep.
That being said, what are your thoughts now about Frankie postseason? Are you still friends with him? I know there's like a lot of drama around him right
Have
now.
you downloaded his sister's CD?
Which is really good. I'm sorry again, everyone.
You know all of her words to her songs. We want to know.
Yeah, I got you covered on this one. Frankie, an amazing person. I know he said some things in the house that people weren't fond of. Outside the house, we still talk. He actually FaceTimed me 2 days ago. I put it up on Twitter. Great guy. He's got a lot going for him. He wants to be in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity for him maybe to do it. I wish him nothing but success. And I can tell you 100%, there's 3 CDs I downloaded when I got out of the house. FGL, Brett Eldridge,
okay,
Ariana Grande. Those are the 3. Yeah,
I like all 3. I like all the. I'm sick of apologizing for liking Ariana Grande songs. Everybody.
She can kill it. She kills it, man. Her songs. I mean, when all you have to do is listen to it, you have time to listen to every song. She kills it, man. The girl's talented. Hey, I'm man enough to say I like Ariana Grande. She's a good singer. I'm cool with it.
She is. Here is a great question from D. Schwomany, who has not told me that I said his name correct or wrong yet every show. One of these times I'll know. He says, Derrick, who was your biggest threat once jury started? And I kind of think he means, like, was there anybody that you were like, ooh, this could be a problem for me in the jury with this person being in there?
Well, I mean, obviously with Jocasta, you know, the way she left, she was a little bitter towards me because she thought she was going to stay, and I definitely did damage control with every single person that I thought was going to jury. She was the one person that I didn't have that opportunity to do it with because it was kind of a blindside, because I felt that if she knew, she would let Donnie know, and in turn he would let Hayden and Nicole know. So I couldn't give her the heads up, and clearly I wasn't completely wrong with it because I didn't get her vote. So, you know, but that was the one person that I thought definitely whoever I was sitting against would vote for them.
Yeah, her, I mean, I loved her all season. I thought she was hysterical all season, but then to just see how she kind of turned into a bitter jury member, like, that upset me a little bit, because I really thought she'd have a better sense of humor about it all, or understanding. Her and Donnie kind of disappointed me during the season. I think Donnie, as I said, is a great human being and a great person. I don't think he was great for Big Brother. He couldn't adapt to the game at all and just was very pity party and passive aggressive. I didn't like it.
Yeah, he's a good competitor for sure. You know, Jocasta was a little bitter towards me because some people had said some things to her when they got to the jury house that I'd never said to them. But, you know, that I'll let you guys do the investigation and find out who said that to her. But as far as the fake praying thing, that wasn't her own idea. Somebody put that in her head that I had said it while they were still in the house. I never said that. But it's cool. It's a game. I respect all of them, and they were doing what they thought was the right thing to do, and it worked out pretty well for me, so I don't hold any ill will towards anybody.
There you go. There you go.
I would be all about fake praying, fake diseases, fake passing out. I would fake everything. It's a game, people, for basically $500,000, and it should be $1 million, but we don't even need to go down that path.
I agree.
Speaking of $1 million and money, we've got Noah in our chat room asking, do you think if Frankie made it to the final 2, would he have beaten you?
He could have. Absolutely. He absolutely could have. You know, when we're in the house, we don't know how we're being portrayed or how we're viewed by the jury members. He would have had a good argument. He would have said, yeah, Derrick played the best social game in the house, never nominated, but I also won 5 HOHs and 2 or 3 POVs. So, yeah. I mean, he would have had an argument, and my argument to that would have been, because I could have went with him. I would have said, hey, I won 4 HOHs. I would have won a 5th one, but I threw it to you, Frankie, for your grandfather. And also, I threw 60% of the POVs, and, you know, that's just a matter of them believing me or not when I say that to them. Hey, listen, I threw a lot of the POVs because I never had to win them because I was really never in jeopardy. And that would have been the argument, and ultimately they would have made the decision, and I would have had to live with either one. He would have been deserving to win if he did.
Well, on that note, to get serious for a second, condolences on your loss
Thank you.
this season. It was really emotional to watch, and I can imagine that none of us are going to understand what it's like to know that that's playing out for America. Obviously, it was hard for you, but do you have any, like, did you learn anything from it that you think might help other people going through that type of a situation?
Well, I mean, if they're in the house, you mean? If they're in the house and they go through it?
Sure, if they're in the house and go through it, or just in general, like maybe by
Starbucks.
being so hyper aware that everyone's watching you, you learned a way to cope with it that might help somebody. Either way,
You guys saw me. I literally didn't want to read the letter out loud. I let somebody else read it. I went into the room, put the blanket over my head, cried my eyes out, and I'm more of a reserved person. The only people I really wanted to talk to, I couldn't at that point, which was my wife and my mother and my father, and they weren't available. So at that point, I took it upon myself to separate myself for a little while, go through the motions, collect my thoughts, and then get my head focused. And it actually was an incentive for me. I turned that negative into a positive, saying, hey, this is one more reason I have to win this season. If I didn't need anything else, I had lost my grandmother during the final stages of the casting process, and I was extremely close to her. And then I lost my grandfather actually during the show, and that was all I needed. Second place wasn't an option at that point. I had to do it for everybody. I had to make being in that house and missing those things worth it, and that was my only goal.
And it worked. And you made it worth it.
I never stopped thinking. And whenever I thought about stopping or going to have fun, I would think about all of that, and it brought me back into the game.
Oh, we know, Derek. We should have let a little bit. We should have let a little bit. Now, I agree. I can't fault your game. As a fan, I'm not angry at all. It's almost like I got to watch how I would have played the game, because I think I would have done a lot of what you did, and I would have killed all the drama, too. I would have been like, nobody's fighting. Nope, you're all fine. Because it's just going to, house meetings, all these things just ruin games. Although you did call one, and it was brilliant. It was to distract. It was look over here, don't look at what I'm really doing. Everyone look over here. Loved it.
I felt that one had to be addressed because there was some dissension. Everyone was talking without me in the room. So I said, hey, I'm going to crush this one right now real quick. I'm going to make Zach tell the truth. I'm going to throw Victoria off. I'm going to throw Nicole off, and hopefully it all works out. And it did.
It did. It was brilliant. What did you think? Is there anything that you learned watching? Well, obviously, I don't think you've really watched a lot of the season back, but have you heard anything or have you seen anything now being out of the house that has surprised you?
Honestly, the only thing, Nicole and Hayden kissed in the house. Did not know that. They played that off pretty well as far as their showmance. I did not know that they were making out in the house, and that didn't slip at all. And Hayden would always play it down. Nicole would always play it down. The first kiss that I was aware of was the one where they came back into the house and destroyed the whole house.
Oh, yes.
That was the only one that I was aware of. But no, I haven't watched the show yet. I haven't really heard anything. If anything, people have just been saying to me, castmates saying to me, hey, I didn't know you did this. I didn't know you did that. But no, I mean, everything has been kind of what I thought it was up to this point. Now, when I watch the show, maybe it'll be a little different.
What is one of the things that was shocking to you that you learned what was happening in the world while you were in the house, and then you came out and went, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened? Or
Robin Williams' death. I'm a huge Robin Williams fan. Him passing away, the whole ISIS thing overseas. Mm-hmm. Obviously being a police officer, we have a ton of military guys that work for us, and I want all those guys to come home. And that's unfortunate that that's going on, because if that's going on over there, they're not coming home anytime soon. So that was disappointing to hear. But those were probably the main things.
I was going to say something that could have been funny, but I'm not even going to go there. So just gonna were you nervous at all? Kind of going to backtrack for a second. During those final two speeches, Cody did an amazing job. I was he was kind of matching you with his reasons why he should win, and I was kind of like, wow, he's actually making me be like, oh, does Cody deserve to win this?
Right.
So were you nervous at all during that?
I was nervous the entire time. Yeah, I didn't need him to start speaking to be nervous. You know, he's a great speaker. He played a great game. He's charismatic. He knows how to talk to people. And, you know, some people would admire the way he came at Frankie and said, hey, I'm the reason you're out there, and I flipped your best friend to get it. And you know what? Frankie's the type of person who could have been like, wow, okay, you have my vote. That was pretty damn good. So I didn't know the way the votes were going to fall, and he didn't hurt himself at all in the speeches. And as corny as it sounds, I was proud of him because it's intimidating being in that room knowing that there's 9-10 million people watching us give our responses. So, yeah, I was proud of him, and I was definitely nervous. He was a great competitor, and from inside the house, I thought it could go either way.
Oh, I love Cody. I think Cody played a great game.
Such a great game. I think when you're so pretty, and I get this a lot too, that people underestimate you. And so Cody was a beast, and I thought his speeches, he did a really good job. Were you sweating a little bit? Were you like, oh, wait a minute, I love my boy Cody, but he's got some good answers.
Yeah, he had some good answers. I mean, I was honestly trying not to forget what I was going to say. To be honest, I kept reciting what I was going to say, but that's just the truth, you know. And I heard a couple things he said. He made some great points, and I knew no matter what he said, I was going to harp on the whole 55 never being nominated and how many HOHs I won. That was either going to win me the game or lose it, and I knew that.
I still cannot figure out how you were never on the block. I cannot.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
I think forever and ever, no matter, because I don't ever think Big Brother is going to ever redo this Battle of the Block twist.
Yeah.
So I think you are going down in Big Brother history at like no one's ever beating your record of most time not on the block, or even just never being nominated.
I don't even think they saw this coming. Like now you've got this gold star.
I love it. I love it. I'm not going to hate. I love it. I love it. I'm glad I was able to accomplish it. But for future house guests, if they get in the 4th or 5th week and they haven't been nominated, just out of principle, they're going to get put up now. You know it. You know it. It's too much of a thing to say at the end of the game in the final speech. If you say that, it's going to be tough to beat.
I think based on the last 2 seasons, it's going to really be hard to be a gay and remain in this game long. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be hard to not be nominated and remain in this game. I think there's a lot of things that people are going to be like, oh, that's so this stereotype. We got to get that type of a person out.
Police and gays, they're not going to want them on the show anymore.
No. And soccer moms. But speaking of people that we love, our one and only Robin Brown says, hey, Derrick, I love you. And she does love you a lot, Derrick.
She does.
Love you too.
A lot of past BB players and a ton of fans have ranked you with Dan and Dr. Will, but who has complimented your game that was the most shocking to you?
It's a nice segue. I can tell you who. Dr. Will and Dan have both reached out to me, and to hear from them, 2 guys I idolize, you know, that's the ultimate compliment because I think they're the best players to ever play the game, and for them to come up to me and talk to me, Dr. Will talked to me at the show, and I talked to him by phone as well, and Dan, me and him have talked numerous times on Twitter, and I didn't realize how much of a supporter of mine he was the entire season, and my wife kind of filled me in, and that's the ultimate compliment. As far as a BB player and a fan of the show, you don't get no better than Dr. Will and Dan. I mean, come on.
I 100%. You don't get better than Dr. Will. Now, you need to write a book, Derrick, is what you do.
Yeah.
Give me some ideas. Everyone keeps telling me I need to write it. Nobody's giving me an idea.
How to stay off the block.
Oh, Jesus.
Like Derrick, off the block.
Of life.
It's going to be like 3 pages.
It could be more than Big Brother. It can be of life. This is how I stay off the block on life.
I like that.
Yeah.
There is like if we can come up with some good puns from like undercover to on. We can think of stuff.
I love it.
And then seriously, when you're ready,
how to stay undercover but still be on top. I mean,
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Hey, listen, if there's a book in there somewhere, I'm all about it.
Well, look, we can't help you with the book, but when you're really ready to start with the videos, look, you get a hangout now. Yeah. We'll help you. We'll help you get it all up there. Not just Christine.
All right. Well, speaking of house guests, we have a question in the chat room that says, Derrick,
put on some light.
Who is the easiest house guest to manipulate and why?
Oh man, I hate answering this one. I won't say anyone was easy.
Caleb will understand. Caleb will understand.
Caleb was one of the people that, because he had a passion for Amber, and he's such a loyal guy.
Is that what we're calling it, passion?
You know, it was able to talk to him.
Yeah.
But you know, as far as manipulating people, I mean, Caleb was the one that I was able to convince to go on the block. But other than that, everyone was a chore, man. It was a constant reiteration and battle to get people to buy what I was selling.
You worked. No, we saw you working on the feeds and on the show. So speaking of Caleb's passion for Amber, a lot of that.
He hasn't seen the show, so tell him.
A lot of his passion didn't translate really to.
He was edited as the crazy stalker, Derek. He was edited as crazy stalker for Amber.
And how was it in your perspective, you being in the house? Was he a crazy stalker? Was he just boing to head over heels over Amber? Well, what was really happening? What was going on?
Not at all. He was definitely not a stalker. You know, that's editing. He's definitely not a stalker. He really did like Amber, and he wanted to try to see where that would go. He was very aggressive in his pursuit. He likes what he wants. He wants what he likes, and he liked Amber. He thought it was mutual, and he felt that with all the time you had, all the downtime you had in that house, it was an opportunity to explore that. But I don't think he was stalking her. He didn't like follow her around the house, and you know, if she was talking to somebody else, he wouldn't come over. And that's what I saw from my perspective. I was too busy trying to win Big Brother, you know. So that was my goal. I was a married guy with a daughter, so that option wasn't there for me. I wasn't worried about the girls in the house. I was just worried about putting myself in an advantageous position at all times so that I could win the game.
Well, maybe kind of the way they edited a little bit. The only thing that was reassuring was that there was all those cameras on Amber, so we knew that she would at least be safe, right?
Really, John? Really? You of all people should know how much I edit you to make you seem to look horrible on shows sometimes.
I know.
I loved it. It was funny. It was funny because CBS really played into it. Because I think they had no romantic storyline really to go off this season, so they were like, screw it, we're going to make Caleb the crazy stalker. And there were like scenes of him like in the HOH room like with a knife, and it's just cutting back and forth between him with a knife, like biting it, then it would like cut to Amber, and she's like looking scared, and then back to Derrick. It was, they really, poor little Caleb. And I literally went from thinking Caleb was the big dumb one in the beginning of the season to really switching to be like, he really is a genuine, loyal person. And when Amber left, we really saw his personality come out.
We got to see it, and in fact, his personality was so good, we forgot all about the Amber stuff and how it was edited and got to know Caleb. Yes.
Awesome guy, nothing but the best. He's definitely somebody I'm going to try to stay close with. He's a great person. There's nothing else you can say. He defended our country. His family's defended our country. Nothing but positive thing about Caleb and his family. And I was fortunate enough to be in a house with him for that long because you don't get much better than him.
I agree. I definitely you can't do better than loyal players, and I think you can't do better than loyal players who don't really know the game a lot. So you knew he was a loyal person in life, so that's a good. He's not thinking end game and all the stuff that you know in your head.
Right. And he wasn't a guy who pretended like he did know the game either. He was always open about that, for the most part.
Right. He didn't know the game, but he worked at Lowe's and Red Lobster and created the Red Lobster biscuit line, and he was like that Saturday Night Live character.
Ooh, I could go to a Red Lobster biscuit right now.
No, I didn't. Like, he did everything. We had a list going during the season of, hold on, Caleb has a new job. Now we lost it on Red Lobster biscuit maker. We were like, okay, Caleb, I can't with you. Here's a question from Taylor6, who says, would you have worked with Nicole if she didn't compare you to Dan?
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, that's an easy one. Yes. Although I thought she was a good player, it was kind of a toss-up between her and Donnie at that point. And frankly, I didn't think I didn't hold Donnie to a higher standard than Nicole as far as allies. I knew they weren't going to be my top allies. They were kind of middle of the road, like willing to flip on me if they had to. But they were both kind of equal as far as their knowledge. And there was a point there where I wanted to work with Nicole, and then when she started comparing me to Dan, that's what tipped the scale. And then Donnie had the advantage as far as Team America as well. So those were all factors, but I did try to work with her in week 3. We made an alliance, and I knew she was a good player, and I'd rather her on my side than against me, but I saw how close she got with Hayden, and I knew that wasn't an option. I never wanted to be somebody's number 2.
Absolutely. Right. And Curtis in the chat room, this kind of segues into it. Were you surprised to find out that Nicole was one of the top 3 vote getters and America's favorite player?
Not at all. She loved the game. She was a huge fan of it. She was such a sweetheart the entire season. She became a little bit of a rebel, like a firecracker near the end. I love that. And then on top of that, she just embraced the game for what it was. The costumes, she never complained. She was a little upset about being on slot, but who wouldn't be? I mean, she really did embrace being in that house, and you could tell she was savoring every moment that she was in that house because she really wanted to be there. She really did.
An all-time wedgie giver, too, right? When
Crushed Zach on the wedgie. She was great. No, she was great, and I wouldn't have been upset if she won it. She was a great player and a great human being.
She's one of the people I would love to see have a chance to go back and play. I mean, in a way, I guess we could say she kind of did, but I think it was too late.
Right.
But she's another one I would like to see come out swinging right from the gate and see how she does it second time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she can win competitions for sure.
Definitely. Exotic Latina says, question, who's your favorite and least favorite player on Big Brother ever?
Obviously, favorite player, I'd have to say, not as far as game, but just as far as how he presented himself. It's a toss-up between Frank Udy, Jeff Schroeder. Love the way they played their games, even though I knew I couldn't play a similar game to them. As far as strategic purposes, obviously Dr. Will and Dan can't go much better than them. As far as players I didn't like, I'm gonna just not answer that one. I'm not gonna answer that one.
How about in the game?
Are you pleading the fifth?
Do you even want to say, like, not game-wise? Is there anybody whose game, not them personally, but just whose game you didn't like? But you don't have to.
Let me think. Let me see if I can who I, not as a person, but just somebody how.
Here, you want me to help you? Kathy, season 12.
She's a sheriff. I'm not touching her. She's a sheriff.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And I loved her. She was comedic.
You know who I thought could have went further? I really liked Andrew from season 12. I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he had a great chance of winning the whole thing, and he kind of got a little paranoid, and he started throwing Hayden under the bus. But, no, nobody I disliked, man. It's a game for me. Like, I knew when you go in that house, it's completely different, even before I went into the house. So I didn't really hate anybody, even last year with the racist stuff that went on. They're all good people that say things they shouldn't have said.
Exactly. Everybody is human. Don't hate. Let's all just love and be happy and
I love everybody.
So, Derek, I want to know, would you ever do like Survivor or Amazing Race?
I have been asked that, and honestly, this is going to sound cliche to say, but it would be up to the wife, and it would be up to the department. I mean, I got to tell you, I got a leave of absence to go on the show, and I don't think they'd grant that again. But anything's possible. I would have to make sure that it was right for me and my family. It would be based on what was presented to me. But I love reality television. I love the games where it's a mental thing that you don't have to be the strongest player to win the game. And, yeah, I'm open to anything. I would love to be involved with the show somehow, if it's not Big Brother, whatever it is. I would love to have a big part in it.
Well, some of our really good real-life friends... Oh, maybe I shouldn't say this because I know what I want to say next. So here, I'm going to say this instead. Well, I would guess, because I don't know for sure, that they would probably offer you money to do Survivor, and then if you win, you would get that money, but you need to tell the wife and kid it's much easier. It's like 20-something days, and if you don't even make it to jury, which we all know that wouldn't happen, so you would probably have to go the full entire length of time. But yeah, I'm sure once you've been on a show before, you get a little bit more of a bonus if you decide to go on. So I think you should do it. You should do it.
I'm open to it. Trust me, I'm definitely open to it. If it happened today, if the option was open for next week to leave and I even was allowed to, I wouldn't. Because I need a chance to decompress and become myself again. And then if I knew I was going on a show, I would develop a whole new strategy, a whole new situation that I wouldn't tell anybody about, and I would prepare it specifically for the game that I was entering. And I would have something, they're like, what would you do? You couldn't use the same strategy. I know that. I would have to come up with something different like Dan did when he came back. He played a completely different game. And I would have to do something similar and see where the chips fell.
And you're only an hour and like 15 minutes away, so I'll help babysit if this is what we need to do to get Derrick.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. I'm sensing a question. Oh, no, you didn't? I thought you... I'm good. I have a ton. I got a ton here. We keep, like, crashing and freezing. I got one.
Okay.
So, here is from... oh, see, now I froze. All right, let me ask you this then, since now mine is frozen. Is there any player that, let's say you did an amazing race, or let's say you did a Survivor where it's kind of like a blood versus water, is there any player you would really want to be paired up with? And I'm going to make your life easy and remove Victoria and Cody from your equation.
Hey, all right.
We know those. We get it. We get it. You're going to take Victoria or Cody. Who's your third choice?
Honestly, I got to take a house guess, man. I'd have to say it'd probably be, I'll give you three, but Caleb, Frankie, or Hayden. Those guys are great guys, and I'd love to pair up. Even Nicole, I love all of them. But Survivor, give me Caleb. Give me Caleb. Beast Mode Cowboy, give me Caleb for Survivor. Amazing Race, I'd probably go with maybe Hayden or Nicole. Hopefully they can navigate a little better than I could. But
no,
Survivor,
wrong choice. Wrong choice, Derrick. I will tell you. You want Frankie 1,000,000%. Love him or hate him, everyone. He has a worldwide audience.
True.
People will notice him and will help him along the way. You want to go with Frankie on Amazing.
I don't know. I think I see Frankie and Zach on the future Amazing Race, to be honest with you. I would love to see that.
Well, I don't see that based on the fact that they were both tweeting it, and as we all know, if they were actually on the show, that would never be allowed to happen. But I like that you're being quiet about it, Derrick. Okay, so... and we know that they asked the people on finale night, and I'm allowed to say that. Yep. So... here's a question from Redheaded Michelle that I actually was dying to know. Who were you excited to meet from the BB15 cast, or just in general during Rachel's rap party, or even the CBS one?
I met a lot of people. To be honest with you, I had just got done watching BB Can before I came into the house, so I was excited about seeing Netta and John and Allison and all those guys. I was excited about seeing all those people. Arlie, because I had just watched their season before entering the house, so that was the most freshest in my head, was BB Can 2. But I got to meet Amanda, Gina Marie, Annie, Andy, Spencer, McCrae, you name it. All good guys. They were all cool. They were it's like a fraternity. They were all great to me, all very supportive, all congratulatory. So I was kind of a fan walking through the finale party like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Now, we know you would never lie, Derrick. And
never.
We already know that Gina Marie...
You're not in the house, so you can't lie, right?
Okay.
Right. And we know that Gina Marie has already said this is not true. But there are some people out there that are started rumors that Gina Marie and Frankie got into a fight at the rap party, which I think is ridiculous because there's all pictures of them hugging and being friendly. I just think it's a desperate attempt to get people to their shithole website. But anyway, did you see that happen?
No, I didn't at all. No drama that night. None. As far as I know, no drama. We were all having a great time. The first time out of the house. Nothing but love, man, for everybody.
Yeah, it's sad when you gotta lie to get people to your website. Anyway, we're being shit.
Zing!
Okay.
Zing! Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just gonna shut up now. Derrick, why did you shut down all the drama in the house?
Yeah, very simple. I had people where I wanted them, and I didn't want dissension to cause the people to start dividing and developing their own alliances that I wasn't a part of. So the last thing I wanted was two of my alliance members or an alliance member on one side of the house to team up with somebody on the other side of the house and then them cooperate on things and realize, hey, Derrick was working with both of us. So I wanted to keep everybody in the positions that they were in and the alliances they were in, so I would never kind of cross-contaminate any of the things that I had already done. And by doing that, I had to make sure everyone was at peace with each other, everything was hunky-dory, and everyone got along as well as I could allow them to get along.
Okay, there you go, everyone. Chat room was saying I kept answering it for you, and I wasn't letting you answer it. So there you go. There's Derek's answer.
If there's leave it at this. When there's drama, there's the ability for somebody to stand up in front of the entire house and go, hey, I'm working with him. I got his back till the end. He has mine. And then everyone else in the room goes, well, wait, he told me he had my back till the end. And so even though it might be not geared towards hurting my game, it could. It really could. And I didn't want to take that risk because it was something I didn't need to happen to get further in the game.
So Les in the chat room wants to know, tell us about some of the fan mail, fan gifts you've gotten. Anything crazy?
I got to tell you, and I'm glad you asked that. That's a great segue. I have a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff. And right now I'm trying to put out those Hitman t-shirts. It's literally my wife and I. We're the only two doing it. We're doing everything by hand. I'm signing autographs. We're doing it. I'm going to the post office daily. So first off, fans, please be patient. I'm trying to get everything out to you guys. As quick as the guy makes the t-shirts, I'm sending them out. As far as fan stuff, I haven't even opened everything. But I can tell you there was one thing I got. I got a quesadilla maker. And that was pretty cool because I always do quesadillas in the house. For that, and I'm going to try to give everybody shout-outs when I can as soon as I get to it. And then also, there's been a lot of people that have given things to me for my wife.
Well, let us know how we can help you with that. We can do a special little shout-out show for you, Derek.
Yeah, I would love to do that because, I have a lot of people saying, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. If I literally did that, it would take me days. Yeah. Days to do it. And the other thing is that I've been told that if you're giving shout-outs on Twitter, you're filling up people's feeds with shout-outs that follow you, and they don't like that. So I'm trying to email people back, and if anybody gives me a postmark, something that's self-postage already with an envelope, I will send you a picture with an autograph if that's what you want. I'll do that. So I'm all about it. If you just say thank you and I appreciate your game, I'm probably not going to email you back or message you back, but I am reading every single piece of mail, every single email. So if you're just wanting to give me a holler, a shout-out, don't let it be confused. I'm reading everything.
And I will make this easy for you, Derek. You need to go to the USPS.com, and you can actually print the labels right from your house. It's actually cheaper than going to the post office. For anybody that wants to send stuff for Derek, after this show is on its webpage, we'll have the P.O. box in the description below, or of course it's on his Twitter.
I have a question for you, Eric.
What?
Oh. I know about this click and ship because all my fans have been telling me about it. How do I weigh the packages at home because they want weight, and I need like a special scale for that, right?
Yes, Derek. You can take your $600 million and go buy a $3 average scale from the dollar store. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not even the money. I didn't know if there's like a special mail scale I need. Like, do they sell it like Staples or something?
All the weight in pounds, it's all the same in America.
Okay. I honestly think when you sign up for your account, I did it forever ago, they might give you the option to like send you it, but
like buy it and send it to me.
They do send it to you.
There you go. It's just a little white. It's an ounce scale. I think it goes up to like 2 pounds or whatever.
Okay. Because I have like some people are ordering 5 or 6 shirts, and I know with those have to go priority over certain things. As all things I'm learning, but
it's enough to weigh a quesadilla maker.
I love it.
It's enough to weigh. So there you go, everyone. Now you've been educated on the postal service shipping thing. Yeah. You're all welcome.
I'm a Big Brother guy. I'm not an eBay guy. I don't know any of that stuff, but I'm gonna learn really fast. I have a feeling I'm gonna figure this out pretty good.
Yes, you have to figure it out, and I'm sure, Derek, that there are tons of fans out there if you build a relationship with any of them. I'm sure I'm saying there are people that would be willing to help you do it. I'm sure there are sane fans. We brought on a bunch to help us all season to live tweet 24/7. So there are people out there that I'm sure would be willing to help you out too. But yeah, it is great. I'm a fan of your Team Derek shirt. I like that. I was a little upset when you were talking to the camera and were like, hey, jokers, hey, hamsters, design the shirt. Oh, how'd that work out, Derek?
I got you. I got you. I
You would have
got you.
said reality recaps, design a shirt. We would have had options for you. We would next time.
Let me throw this at you. I'm
Oh,
gonna put
yeah.
you on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the spot. We're doing
don't.
the Hitman shirt right now. Have you guys seen the Hitman shirt yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Hitman shirt's going to be going on for a little while. It seems like people want them, so I'm definitely going to try to design some more different designs. We have a couple people, you know, if you guys have some options, let me know, because we're going to do this one for a little while longer, and then we're going to throw a different one out there. It's probably going to be more one just geared towards me. I'm ready. I'm open. I'm open to
Like some
suggestions.
V-neck options.
Yeah.
Some
Tank top.
turtlenecks for the
Tank top.
holidays.
Hold on a second. I want to show you guys something.
Okay. Okay. Well, Derek, I promise we're starting to wrap up, and we're gonna do like a big flush of questions. But hey, join our Patreon. It really helps bring people on the show like Derek, and do your Amazon shopping in our sidebar. You can
We know we were just talking about different options.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, love it.
Oh,
Right?
isn't that cute? Oh.
You like that?
Daddy.
That was from a fan, but I mean, yeah, I'm open to anything.
Awesome.
As you guys know, you've talked to previous house guests. It's like right now it's such a whirlwind trying to do everything, but when it starts to settle down, it's gonna be nice to kind of like concentrate on certain things. And if people like the shirts and and we can do it and get it out to them, I'll keep it going. You know.
I already have your solution for this too, Derek. Maybe these are things we should talk after the show.
We absolutely should.
Unfortunately, we're not even really editing our shows. Don't tell anybody. I'm a full-grown adult now and have just bought a house which is completely under construction, so I barely have 5 minutes on my life. It's a miracle this show is happening. But let me give you the solution, Derek. You don't need to design them. You just have a fan contest and tell your fans to design them, and then you'll pick the winner from your fans.
That's how the last one happened. That Hitman shirt is actually from somebody already that designed it. Hey, Jana, what was her name? Let me give her a shout-out again. I forgot it. Jana, what's the name of the designer for the Hitman shirt? What was the girl's name? Michelle, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Megan Simpson. Megan Simpson designed the first shirt.
Megan
She was amazing. She's been hugely helpful, and she designed the shirt, gave me the rights to it so I could produce it, and she has some other great designs that she's already done, so we got some good stuff in the pipeline for sure.
And this is up to you. I'm not putting you on the spot. We're getting a ton of everybody wants Jana to come and say hi, or Tenley.
Yeah.
But you do not have to. I would.
If you want to wait, I'll grab him.
Sure.
Tenley's taking a bath right now. Before we finish, I'll have him come say hi.
Okay, perfect. Have him come say hi before we finish. All right, so then Derek.
Hey, Jana, Tenley, they want reality recaps. Wants you to say hi to him.
Well, their fans
He's
do.
done. We got time.
Oh, we do too. Okay, so here is a question then for you, Derek, while we're waiting on that. Obviously, now you're getting tons of holas. I had this brilliant plan where, don't be one of these house guests, Derek. I was getting the old house guests to do holos for you that I was going to play during this show. But much like the Christmas video, I didn't start 6 months in advance, so that plan went out the window.
It's all good.
Derek, Patrick Lane, Kane, whatever, wants to know, Derek, what was your favorite competition this year?
Easy one again. BB Egypt, the last competition. I wanted to be in a harness all year. That was the first time I got to do it. I was 30 feet up in the air. I loved it. That was a great competition. I was hoping we had something like the rock wall where could scale it like Spider-Man, and I got all that and more. It was awesome.
This is how I know John's reading questions, because you just said you wanted to be in a harness all year, and he didn't even
harp on it.
Nothing. Okay.
I'm showing respect for our guest, Eric.
Okay. He lived all summer with Frankie, John.
Yep.
Frankie.
Yep.
We're like the PGG Frankies.
True story. True story.
True that.
So what was it like? A lot of people said, Frankie was really showy, and it was not fair that he had the built-in audience of Ariana Grande to help him end his game. I think your thought is going to be what mine is, so I'm going to let you say what you thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Team America thing, I guess you could consider it, but as far as in that house, when he told me, I said it on the talk. When he told me he was Ariana Grande's brother, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm still going to try to beat you. I don't think it helped him at all in the house. There were some girls that were a little taken back by it at first, but it wore off very quickly, and people were like, hey, we got to beat him. We're here for $500,000, and we really don't care who he's related to. We're going to try to beat him just like we were going to try to beat him before.
Okay, tell us and be honest. Did you know who she was when he told you guys?
No, if you saw it, I said Amanda Grande. I was like, oh, Amanda Grande, right? And he was like, no, Ariana Grande. I had heard of her song when he played it, but I didn't know exactly who she was when he said it. Like, I couldn't picture her.
Neither did we, and
we didn't either, and we're super gay, and we didn't know.
The girl got pipes, though. The girl's got some pipes. I know who she is now.
Yeah, she's got great pipes, and she's everywhere now.
I met her after the finale. Amazing person, so nice, so down to earth. I'm going to check her out March 15th in Massachusetts for a concert. She's unbelievable.
She is, and I'm not allowed to say how we know. I will just say we know people who were with her during the Big Brother finale and said she was so amazing, so wonderful, so down to earth.
It's all true. It's all true.
Speaking of Massachusetts, Curtis in the chat room says, when did you find out that Nicole had made a surprise trip to Massachusetts? Did you know before Hayden?
Literally, when Hayden says, hey, are you outside? I'm like, yes. I walked up to the front door, and Nicole was standing there with him. I found out after he found out.
I really hope these two make it work. In a Jeff and Jordan way. Versus, and I am not saying this because she's probably watching, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but like an Amanda, like I hope the fans don't come in between their relationship.
I don't think so. They're pretty strong. They're both very intelligent, strong-willed people, and I think they'll manage.
I think they will manage to. Clearly, Tenley does not want to be on the show. Tell her she doesn't have to be. It is okay.
T-Rose! I think she's putting clothes on her right now.
Okay, I was like, diaper change? No, we don't do diaper changes, Derek.
Yes. Yeah, that would be my deal breaker for the babysitting. So, what are you looking forward to now? I mean, I always feel like asking the winner, how has it changed your life winning? I think we all know how it, is going to provide stability to your life, but how do you feel it is going to change your life? What have you taken away from Big Brother?
I don't know how it's going to change my life. I can tell you that now that I've been a part of the show, I want to have a bigger finger in the pot. I want to have a part of the show. I don't know what it's going to bring me. Obviously, there's been suggestions thrown out to me. I want to have more to do with it. I really do. Now that I've been on the show and I'm a feedster and all that, I don't know what it's going to be, but I want to have something going on other than just tuning in and watching.
Okay.
And I don't know what that's going to be.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say number one, and I do love my Jeff, but Lord knows you could take that spot, and I do like him, but that's
he's a good-looking dude. I think he's got me beat.
Yeah, well, I don't think he likes me, but whatever. I think he's a good person. I just think his interviews, like, whatever. I want you to have that spot. Now, here is what people have been giving you shit about all season, Derek, and I don't know if you know, but people are going to kill me if I don't say this to you.
No,
people don't like that you're saying feedsters. It makes us sound like gangsters. I get that all season. Anytime you would be like, feedsters, they'd be like, why is he calling us feedsters? We're not feedsters. We're live feeders. So on behalf of the fans.
Well, you know what? There was somebody else who called you guys feeders. And I was like, no, they're not eating off the bottom of our shoes. They're feedsters.
Oh.
But for now on, I will refer to it as, because I haven't heard that yet, but I'm glad it was brought to my attention, and now it will be live feeders.
You call anybody whatever you want. Look, if people then people are going to be mad at you that you switched from feedsters.
I think that term came from last season, from Big Brother 15, about all the fans turning into gangsters.
Yeah, I definitely, I got to be honest, I don't see the correlation between gangsters and feedsters. I think that's a little bit of a reach, but I respect their opinions. But
that's a compliment.
Yeah, I call myself a feedster. That's what I am. So,
these are the same people that have you in an affair, Derek. They're not all there.
Derek a lot worser things than that.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, you need to come. You need to go to the reality rally next year, Derek, because
Oh my
that's where it
gosh,
will all
yeah.
go down.
I've been
Okay.
told. I've been told about that. Maybe a little bit. Just a
Uh,
little bit.
well, your
Just a
reality
little bit.
recaps, yourrealityrecaps.com/reality rally.
We want you. That's what they're saying. I think that tells me something.
Yeah.
Well,
We
go
want you.
watch. John raced with Helen. We have all the video of it on our website, /reality rally. You can watch John racing with Helen, competing against the other reality stars and stuff, and coming in
With a
fifth.
GoPro camera,
Fifth.
Derek. With a GoPro.
I love
He
it.
came in fifth from last. So good job.
Pretty
Hey,
cool.
I'm definitely down. I know it's for a great cause. If I can get out there, if I can get the time off work, I'm in. Temecula, right? Temecula, California?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
Temecula, California.
I definitely want to be out there. I heard it's a great reunion for all the reality stars. So if I can get out there, I'm going for sure.
Forget about reunion. I'll keep it real now. It's been long enough that I think people won't know who I'm referring to. Derek, there's some straight up drama. There are people crying in rooms.
Ooh.
There are people fighting like behind cars.
Hey,
There
you
are
know
people
Derek doesn't like
knocking-
drama. I'll avoid it at all costs.
Come to our room. Although people kept breaking into our room because we had a big patio. It was crazy. But it's super fun and for a great cause, seriously, and I'm not joking about that.
That's what I'm all about. I'm all about it.
Exactly. Derek, did you know that I didn't know that. Well, I was going to ask the start. Is there any truth that Donnie is the one who made up the fake praying storyline? Hold on, let me see Derek's face.
I'm gonna let reality recaps find out about that one. Let's just say there are interviews out there. There are interviews out there.
Is that our first assignment, Sergeant?
Yep. I'll let you know that Jacasa did an interview, and one of my beautiful fans sent me the link, and she did an interview explaining who told her about that and where that fake praying thing came from, and I'll let you guys figure it out.
Okay, chat room, tell John, and then we will say it. Derek will not say it. We will say it. So then, do you have any comment to make? Like, we talked to Victoria about it yesterday, about the whole Donnie crossing her name off the bathroom door.
I just heard about that. I've talked to Victoria about it. Hey, come over here. She takes everything. She takes everything personal. I know she's got a huge heart. I'm not going to say anything negative. I can't be bitter because I won. So you know what? I'm going to let everybody else do that.
Hold up a baby instead.
I can. Let me take out the headphones.
Look how big.
Hi, Tenley.
Can you guys hear me still?
We can hear you. Yep.
Oh, I can hear you now. Hold on.
Look, we're like dads. We're like follow-up.
I know, right?
Tenley, say hi.
Hi, Tenley.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. You're gonna say hi, Tenley?
Dana would be so proud of me right now.
Come here.
Look, Dana, I'm liking kids.
It would be like, are you drinking? Eric does drink.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see if she can hear you. Come here. Say hi.
Hi, Tenley.
They're saying hi. Say hi.
Hi, Tenley. Oh, you want mommy?
Eric and John. Uncle Eric and John.
Oh. Hi. Everybody loves you. Everybody's saying how adorable you look.
I know.
Look at those cute little red cheeks.
I
Hi, Tenley.
Can you hear him?
You're going to be a Big Brother superstar one day. You're going to have the best trainer. Oh, she's pulling away from me.
Daddy?
Kill to have skin like that again.
I love her. This is what I played for, everybody. This is why I won right here. This is the reason. Right?
It is.
Say, Daddy, I'm going to college. Woo!
I'm going to college and I'm eating quesadillas. Burp, 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 burp.
I've been crushing quesadillas since I've been home. Crushing them.
I bet.
That
you
is.
Go see Mommy? You want to stay with me? You can stay with me.
She can stay with you because we're gonna. Oh yeah, or we're gonna wrap up now. And I just want to say that's the reaction that everybody gives us.
Yep.
Ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, as far as the Donnie thing, like, everyone does things for their own purposes. I'm sure he's had to explain to why he did it or what was his rationale behind it. I don't know why he did it. I was too busy in the house. I was playing a game, and I don't think it was malicious or personal. But I'll let the fans decide. That's what they're here for. We're on the show for them. They got to see everything, and they have a better judgment of it than I would.
I think America's player is very passive-aggressive and a little bitter and shouldn't have been there. But everybody already knows that's how I feel about it. Even Julie was annoyed. She was like, you probably didn't see that. He was doing his, oh, Julie, I'm going to get fired. I don't even have a job to go back to. And Julie was like, you're fine, Donnie. You're fine. Get off the stage. You're good. You're good for life.
Yeah.
Eeyore. He's going to be Eeyore in the next Winnie the Pooh movie. Trust me. That's what I see in Donnie's future. Well, Derrick, we need to wrap up, let you go, get back to your amazing family. So what is your final thoughts? What do you want to leave your fans with?
I will say this. You know, obviously I'm not going to talk about the show. I will say that since I've been out of the house, I knew coming out of the house I wouldn't know if I was going to be portrayed as a villain or a good guy. And I can tell you that the response has been unbelievable. I have the best fans in the world. I'm looking forward to talking to everybody. I'm hoping this isn't the last you guys see of me. And I just appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. You guys are defending me when somebody says stuff. It's unbelievable. I can't put it into words. It's unbelievable. It's so heartfelt, and I can't thank you enough.
Well, tell them one more time where they can find you on Twitter, as if they don't know, or anywhere else you want them to follow you.
Absolutely. It's at Derrick_L13 on Twitter, and it's Derrick_Levasseur, Levasseur, BB16. So Derrick_Levasseur, BB16 on Instagram.
And the links will be below on the show once it is on the website.
And P.O. Box stuff is right on both of those profiles on Instagram and Twitter if they want to send me something, they want me to sign something, or email me. They have that as well.
Perfect, and we will put it below as well, so they have easy access to it or get it from his profiles. John, where can the people find you?
Oh my gosh, you can find me at Comedy Jonah everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. So fun chatting with you, Derrick.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate you being on the show.
It's a pleasure. You guys are awesome. I love your. I've been watching you guys
about us on the season. Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, Derrick, you are officially the first person to ever talk about us. We cannot thank you enough for that.
Another gold star for you. Not on the block.
Another gold star.
And you talked about your reality recaps.
No, I love it. You guys are entertaining. I look forward to the future interviews with future house guests.
Yes.
Yes, that is what we're going to do. All right, Derrick, thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody, you can check out all of our Big Brother content over at yourrealityrecaps.com/BB16. Check out our interviews with Victoria, Christine. We have more coming up later this week, so follow us on Twitter and subscribe in iTunes and get our shows there as well. We will see you guys all later in the week.
All right,
bye,
bye.
everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Tenley.
Bye. Say bye, Tenley.
Bye, bye. Unholla.